live today. I'm also going on V Live. So welcome, welcome. My name is Lauren Lola. I am here with our special host and co-partner, Mr. Ariel White. Hello, how are you all
Aloha.
doing? So feel free to go on ahead, chime in, post your questions below. We are sharing this in two areas. Feel free to post your comments and we'll be sure to get to you. If we can't, then we will go on ahead and address them after. So we all want to know intermittent fasting, what is it? What is intermittent fasting? I am Lauren Lola, your nutritional therapist, practitioner, creator, and co-partner with Violet White of the Body Luck System. We are also with Ariel White, who has his BS in exercise science and training with collegiate athletes. So let's just get down to it. I know you guys have been waiting a couple weeks to hear what intermittent fasting is about. So what is it about, Ariel? What is it?
So intermittent fasting is really simple on paper. All it is you have throughout your 24-hour period day, you have a period of time where you are fasted, and then you have a certain period of time where you are eating. So normally, the fasting period is going to be longer than your eating period. So the best way to think about it is in a 24-hour period, you fast for 16 hours and then you eat for 8 hours. So the way to do it best is you figure out where in your schedule works out best for you to eat. So you could say, I'm going to eat between the hours of 12 p.m. and 8 p.m. And then for the rest of the time, I'm going to be fasting. That's what it sounds like on paper. That's what it looks like. But there's a lot of variety and a lot of variables that go into it outside of that.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. So you may have some questions as well. We want to hear from you guys, but just to go on ahead and move forward. So who would intermittent fasting really be for?
Intermittent fasting is really for anybody. Works very well, especially for men. So this is where people need to understand. Intermittent fasting itself is not a diet plan. All intermittent fasting does is tell you when to eat, and then you put your own diet or whatever style you want to eat. If you want to be vegan, vegetarian, paleo, Whole30, macrobiotic. This isn't telling you what to eat. It's only telling you when to eat. And by doing that, you're doing a couple things in the body. Number one, you're increasing your insulin sensitivity, which is fantastic. The more sensitive you are to insulin, the easier it is to lose weight, and the less likely you are to develop diabetes later in life. You are increasing your leptin, which is your hunger hormone. So you're actually going to be less hungry by fasting throughout the day. So this is fantastic especially for men, because of hormonal fluctuations that happen in the women. It's not as successful doing a 16-8 split, but there are different splits that you can do. But definitely for anybody who is looking to lose a few pounds. Always people say, I'm training, I exercise, I'm trying to bulk up, I can't fast. Well, actually, it's the opposite. Because we're increasing our insulin sensitivity, this is a fantastic eating plan to do alongside of weight training. Because insulin is key to building muscle. It's an anabolic hormone. So you're actually increasing the sensitivity to that hormone. So it is great to do if you are trying to bulk up as well. Again, it's not telling you what to eat. It's only telling you when to eat. So if your diet is calling for 3,500 calories a day in order to bulk up, you have 8 hours to eat those 3,500 calories and still get the same results while losing percentages of fat.
So the idea is not to try intermittent fasting and only do one meal that's equivalent to 600 calories, right? You're going to be doing yourself a major disservice. So I would think that that's where a lot of strategic planning really needs to go into play here.
Yeah, like any diet or any eating plan, planning ahead is always the key. You never want to be caught in a situation where you didn't prepare food or you didn't have in mind what you were going to do for a meal, and now you're hungry. Now you're inside your window of eating and you have nothing to eat, because that's just going to lead to bad decisions. So with any way that you eat, any lifestyle that you have, planning ahead is always going to be key. Another thing with intermittent fasting, it's difficult for myself because I'm a big snacker. I see food out, I just like to snack and eat all day. You have to keep in mind, am I in my eating window? I caught myself a few times when I was first starting. I was way outside of my eating window, and I saw something there. I was like, ooh, I want a bite of that. So learning to tailor that back and really be focused in on what you're taking care of.
I love that. I love that. And just to recap briefly again, who is intermittent fasting for? I know you said the variations between men and women, and not really for women. But if a woman was to do this, what type of woman would be best inclined to go on ahead and try this or attempt this?
So any women could try it. Like I said before, it's great for anybody who's trying to lose weight. but any woman could try it. I would just recommend doing, instead of a 16-hour fast and an 8-hour eating period, to do at the most a 14-hour fast with a 10-hour eating period. A 12-12 split would be better. You could always start at 12-12, and if you are feeling good after that, after about a month or 2 months, then you could go to a 14-8, sorry, 14-10, and see how that feels for you. But it's better for a woman to start at 12-12 and see how she feels on that after at least 2 months. Again, because of hormone fluctuations that a woman has during her 28-day menstrual cycle, you don't want to just do it 2 weeks and say, oh, I feel great, and then you end up crashing. You want to go for at least 2 months to give yourself 2 cycles to see how it feels.
I love that. And with your intermittent fasting, his metabolism is revved. I see him just, is sweating here next to me. His metabolism is so high, guys. So it's definitely going to be something to boost your metabolism, rev your metabolism, especially if you're training. I think it's going to be important to get more of the strategic specifics into when are you eating, making sure that you have that food after training so you can see the gain. So it's going to be different for people who are looking to decrease, right? When we talked about the insulin, gain back the insulin sensitivity. We want to be insulin sensitive. We don't want to be in the insulin resistance phase, right? And then looking at the leptin and ghrelin, because if we start to become leptin resistant, now it's our body hormonally not able to trigger to the brain when to eat and when we're full, right? When to stop eating and when we're full. So that leptin really plays a critical role. So if you have insulin or leptin issues, even trying this or attempting this a couple days out of the week may be something to give them a better gauge to kind of ease into it. Wouldn't you say so?
Yeah. And there are, like I said, there are a variety of ways you can do intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting isn't just on a 24-hour basis. There's also, you can do intermittent fasting as 2 24-hour fasts throughout the week. So every 3 days you would do a 24-hour fast. So instead of looking at it at a 24-hour period, you can look at it from every day, 3 days you have another fast. Then you do 3 days and you have another 24-hour fast. So there are a variety of ways to do this. And the whole point of intermittent fasting is just this. The number one highest caloric burden on your body is digestion. Digestion is the hardest thing for your body to do. To take food that we're putting into our mouths, to break it down into amino acids, vitamins, minerals, excuse me, and sugar is the single hardest thing for your body to do. So fasting is to give your body a break from that process in order to allow other processes in the body to happen, such as the anti-inflammatory response, the repair response, the detoxifying of your liver response. If you are constantly feeding your body, that is never going to happen, and that just builds up over time.
90% of our energy is focused on digestion, right?
So you need to give your body rest, and that's the whole point of the fast, is to give your body rest from the digestion phase so it can focus on other processes in the body, because your body is built to extract nutrients from food. So if you have food in your body that needs to be digested, that will always take priority over anything else. So the whole point is to give your body a break from that to allow other things to happen.
Yeah, and just to go on ahead and add here, I got one of the comments says, this is good information. It's hard for me to follow a diet. I get anxiety and start eating sweets, chocolate, the most. So thank you so much for posting that.
I love
that
chocolate.
Comment there. Yeah, we love chocolate.
I have at least a bar of chocolate a day. Who said that comment?
Almita, hello.
No, I'm not joking. I at least have 1 bar, some days 3 bars of chocolate a day. But the chocolate I have is usually over 85% dark chocolate. So I'm not getting...
It's a higher source of minerals, right?
So you're getting higher antioxidants in there. I'm always checking the sugar as well. I want to make sure it's lower on the sugar end. There are a couple bars of chocolate as well that use stevia. So the best thing, I always recommend eating chocolate. Just want to make sure you're eating good quality chocolate. It's good for you. It's a food. Cacao is a food that is rich in antioxidants and minerals. So you just want to get as close to that as possible.
Yeah, so now moving on into our next segment is really, is it right for you? Is intermittent fasting right for you? And this is going to give you a little more of an insight. Is it right for you? Is it something that you want to attempt? So we talked about the people who should do it, people who shouldn't do it. We went into a little bit of the do's and the don'ts, but you really getting clarity with, is it right for you? The way you would know is from my understanding, is looking at where your blood sugar. Do you get lightheaded? Do you get dizzy if you don't eat? Right? These would be more of the indications and signs and symptoms to know not to do the severe one where you're fasting 20 or 24 hours and then going into more of the intermittent fasting phase on a continuous basis. These are the ones that you want to go on ahead, and these are the people that want to be sure that they're doing probably around a 12-hour fast starting there and maybe increasing there, because if your body is not supported with the proper nutrition, the proper minerals, this can become even more of a stressor on the body. So that's why we see that the next is really talking about, is it right for you, and being able to gradually ease in. So how would one be able to gradually ease into this approach from your point of view?
So number one, we've all had days where we go 18 hours without eating and we feel fine. Like we all have days where we get up early and we had to go to work for whatever reason, or we had something we had to take care of and we just didn't eat, and we go 18 hours and we don't eat and we feel fine. Then all of a sudden we're going to say, I'm going to fast today, and we get 2 hours into our fast and we say, I have a headache, I feel terrible, I'm tired.
It's so true.
So
God.
Number one is get out of your head and realize that you can do it. Number one. Number two, yes, ease into it. Don't jump into it and say, all right, tomorrow I'm fasting for 16 hours. No. That's that. Again, proper planning is always going to be what leads to success. So start with a 12-12 split. You sleep for 8 hours. That means before you go to sleep, you don't eat for 2 hours. And after you wake up, you don't eat for 2 hours. 2 and 2. And then that will be your 12-12 split. Really, really simple to do. And then you can build from that point. The third thing is going to be supplements. So you want to do branched chain amino acids, L-glutamine.
It's the gains, branched chain aminos, right?
In order, because everybody's worried, well, if I fast, am I going to lose muscle mass? You're not. But in order to ensure that, you can go ahead and add amino acids as supplements. And another note about supplements is make sure whatever you're taking doesn't have any calories in it. So no kind of fish oil, CLA, coconut oil, anything like that, because that will start the digestive process. What you can do are tea. And when I say tea, that means only
lemon ginger tea wouldn't work if you're doing the fasting. You want to make sure that you're doing something like the green tea. And I recommend the green tea with the tulsi only because it also has the tulsi, which is the family of the holy basil, and it actually helps to calm. So if you're dealing with anxiety, like the one comment we had from Almita earlier, you want to make sure that you're getting the supplements and the herbs in that are going to help to support the stress and the anxiety response with moving forward with healthier eating. So again, move on, sorry.
So tea, green, white, black, or any kind of herbal tea, and that's it. Nothing has any kind of fruit in there, again, because you have sugar and it's going to start the digestive process. And then you can also do plain black coffee. If you really, really need it sweetened, you can add stevia to it because that's non-caloric. And that will give you a little bit of energy, and it's great to do. I'm on a cold brew coffee kick right now. I'm drinking cold brew coffee every day. There's a lot of information you can read about that. But so those 3 steps are going to really lead you to success. So you want to make sure you're planning and ease into it. You want to make sure you're taking proper supplements, and then understand what you can have during your fasting period.
Yeah, and just to go into the branched chain aminos are usually what you see for people who are doing post-workout. They want to make sure that they're getting in the amino acids necessary to provide all the metabolic functions that go on in the body, but is the isoleucine, valine, and I think proline. I forget which one it is, but those are your branched chain amino acids, and you want to make sure you're getting a really great source. But our next topic is physical versus psychological. We talked on this a little bit more, but going back to even our ancestors, cavemen times, right? The Ayurvedic teachings, the Toltecs, the Aborigines, the Native Americans, right? They all did fasting. There wasn't stores and convenience stores and shopping for food right around the corner. So they had to go out. They had to exert themselves physically to find the food that they need. Can you relate to what the difference is in us today and physical versus the psychological hunger that may be going on?
Yeah, like I said earlier, we've all had days that we go practically the whole day without eating and feel fine at the end of it. So we got to realize that eating can be enjoyable. It can be a thing that we do to celebrate. But at the same time, eating's paramount purpose in our life is to fuel our body. So what kind of machine are you going to fuel, and how are you going to treat your body when you do that? So you just want to make sure that in your mind that you're thinking about when I'm making eating decisions, that is my goal in mind. Yes, I want to enjoy my food. I enjoy the food I eat very, very much. I love eating, but the food that I eat, not only do I enjoy,
that's why you married me.
It's fantastic for me. So that's what you got to ask yourself when you're eating. Is it worth eating this McDonald's that I'm about to stop and get? Is it worth eating this bowl of ice cream? What kind of things are you putting in your body is exactly what you're going to get out.
Love that, love that, love that. And our next topic is really just going into eating is a privilege. And the reason why I talked about this is because when we're doing these fasting states, we can really get clarity on stepping back, meditating, being a little bit more reflective. Sorry, privilege spelled wrong. I'm typing and talking at the same time. But a lot of cultures, even today, do these fasting, right? Whether it's a monthly basis, whether it's a weekly basis. And I'm not talking about a detox and for weight loss fast, but it's more for a meditative, reflective space to create more energy in the body, to add more creativity, to get more clarity as well, because we just have so much going on in our lives. So yes, I talked about the Native Americans and the Aborigines, and a lot of them did this because it was more for religious purposes and it was more for meditative and just getting clear with the direction, but also coming into a place of appreciation for the foods that we have. We eat 3, 4, 5 times a day and we lose that sense of gratitude sometimes. So that can be beneficial. Intermittent fasting can be beneficial in that way and helping you get cleared if you're going through a lot of changes in your life, if there's a lot of confusion, or if you need some clarity. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay, so we talked about, is it right for you? Talking about slowly easing in, gradually, looking at your goals and specifics. Why would you want to do this diet? Why would you want to entertain the idea? What are your goals? Is it gains? Is it lean muscle mass? Is it energy? Is it clarity and reflection and meditation? Is it weight loss? Is it fat loss? Who is it for? We talked about also, are you minerally depleted? Do you need to start some cleanup before you do something like this? Do you need to work with a coach? Whether it's me, Ariel together, whether it's someone else, do you need the support and the accountability to allow you to carry through, right? And then number 5 is actually talking about tracking what you're doing, making sure you're tracking the steps so you can see the value and you can have the tangibles to, is this really working? And making sure that you're giving yourself the allowable time to see if that's working. How much time would you say? 2 to 3 weeks before?
Again, for women, at least 2 months, testing it out. For men, obviously, much quicker because you don't have the hormonal fluctuations. So a few weeks, you should have a really good idea of how you feel and if the split is working for you.
Yeah, I love the split because there's the eat, stop, eat. There's the lean gains. There's the warrior diet. There's the 36-hour fast, right? There's so many variations. And that leads into our next tip that we talked about was switching it up. Don't be afraid to be adaptable, to be flexible, and see if this is working for you. Would you agree switching it up, right?
Yes, eating and diet is not a marriage.
I love that.
It's okay. You don't have to
Can you
stick
say that
with
again?
one thing forever.
Can you say that again?
It's not a marriage. So if something's not working out, it's okay. You can move on to something else that's going to be good for you.
I'm going to put that here in the comments for you guys. Marriage. Tell me if I spelled that right. Yes, would this work great? I'm looking at the comments one more time, guys, because I take aminos. Okay, so hello, Maureen. Hello, Lizzie. I'm fasting. Lizzie says I'm fasting 16 hours. Maybe I'm not doing it right. I'm down 43 pounds. Lizzie, my girl. Congratulations. Would you like to give her a big congratulations?
Great job.
I take amino acid supplements. Would this work? And a vegan diet is another Christina is asking.
Yeah, Christina. So intermittent fasting is not dictating what you eat. It's just dictating when you eat. So if you want to be vegan, absolutely, 100% go ahead. Just make sure that when you are eating vegan, it's very easy to eat vegan and not get all your nutrients, that you're getting a variety of foods. Vegan diet should be the most plentiful as far as variety of foods out of any diet to ensure you're getting all your nutrients.
Love that. And that's where the minerals, the supplements really come into play. So if you guys are taking minerals, if you guys are taking supplements, be aware of the minerals and supplements if you're going to do the intermittent fasting, because that can really slow down your progress, right? Like we talked about before. So if you need some extra support and guidance, we are definitely here to go on ahead and support you. Body Luck system is all about helping you to heal the inside as well as glamming the out, because one of the things that we're really passionate about is helping you to see what else is possible in your image, in your life, in your physical fitness, right? And all of that, balancing out the body and the hormones and getting a different perspective and creating really that momentum while battling the bulge of the scale. That's really what we're about. So creating healthier lives, create happier families, and even healthier marriages, right? Can you guys see how happy we are? All right, guys, thank you so much. How do I contact you more about in-depth questions? Go on ahead and post the comments below, or feel free to private message me. And if you're interested in doing a consult, we'll definitely go on ahead and post the link, the White Iris link, that you can go on ahead and have a one-to-one with us as well. We'll make that happen for you guys. So signing off. Happy Friday. I know your guys' time is valuable, and Mr. White has got to go, but we will talk to you soon. Have a great day. Bye.